The question is, do you support the proposed ballot initiative to create a city manager, or as it is more formally known, a council manager form of government? Why? If you support a city manager, should the mayor's salary remain in the $70,000 to $100,000 range? So Trudy McFall.
Thank you. I do support the council manager form of government which is being proposed. I think that sometimes this debate has gotten articulated a little off kilter. This shouldn't be a debate about whether the city is to be managed by a professional. The city is to be managed by a professional, but it's a professional now who reports only to the mayor. So what the mayor can do is what's happened in recent years. The mayor may utilize that person in any way that he or she directs, including, as we've now done, dispatching the city administrator to other duties. I come to my support for the city manager position because I think we as citizens need to know by our charter that we have a structure that no single individual, even as somebody as important and elected by the mayor, can dispatch with professional overall management of the city. With the city manager proposal, the city council hires and fires as a whole, so that the mayor must follow the mandates of the charter and cannot individually dispense with professional administrative management of the city. That's how I come to support it. I did not support in the budget process the increase in the salary of the mayor. I was shocked that we considered at a time when the budget is so dire and this issue is on the docket to be decided. I did not think it was the time to increase the salary of the mayor, and if I was elected mayor, I certainly have no intentions of taking that salary. I signed up at a salary that was known to all of us at the time of $70,000, and to the degree that provides flexibility in the budget, it should go to a professional city manager. Both have roles, both are important. One sets a vision, one works with the residents, one is the person who guides the vision for the city, the other manages it.
City manager form of government, absolutely, I support it. The market house is an indication. $2.5 million payout to settle it by the city is nothing to rejoice about. Another $1 million that we will end up spending before the police station, which was the construction was started over 5 years ago, will be settled. We have other issues that have not been handled too well because we don't have a city manager form of government. We need it. Mayor/council city manager form of government, absolutely, I support it. Why do we need this? The city manager, who will be appointed, interviewed by the mayor and then appointed by the mayor council, will manage all the department heads. The department heads assisting them in setting up goals and objectives for the year, assisting them in setting up a budget to go along with those goals and objectives. That budget then will be presented to this mayor city council and approved by them. This is very important. Does the mayor deserve a full-time salary? Absolutely. I'm the one that recommended the salary increase for the mayor. The mayor will continue to be full-time mayor, chairing the city council, which is the policy-making body of the city. The mayor will continue to work not only representing the city to various organizations and events, but our next mayor must be prepared to work with the federal legislators that represent us, the county legislators that represent us, and work on a regular basis meeting with the county executive. We cannot continue to run the city as an isolated political entity. We must cooperate. There's no reason why Wasilla, Alaska can bring in $100 million in federal funds for infrastructure when the city of Annapolis last year got $700,000 and we're only 35 miles down the road. God help us.
Well, I'm not going to compare us to anywhere in Alaska. I'm not going to repeat what's already been said. I frankly, by and large, agree with everything Ms. McFall says, so let me focus on a couple of other things. I think the primary fear on city manager is we're going to end up with somebody like Emory Harrison and not be able to get 5 votes to get rid of him. I had a lot of bad experiences with Emory Harrison. I can understand that fear. But the reality is that there's no perfect fix. It always, people who've been trying to write books on how the generals can, even who don't know what they're doing, won't do anything too bad. But there's no perfect fix. It always depends on the person. But I think with professional management training, you're improving the odds. And there's no particular reason to think you're ever going to get a mayor who's any good at managing a city. We all have some kind of management experience. I would argue that because I've managed a lot of volunteer organizations that didn't have any control over salary and didn't have any control over hiring and firing, that it's more difficult than managing a city. But I'm sure not everybody would agree with that. I just, at this point, think we need to try. As far as the salary goes, I'm not even going to get into the argument about what the mayor deserves. It's just as the wrong moment, and I, too, have said I won't take it. Thank you.
Thank you. I am not in support of city manager form of government. I think that if you have a strong mayor form of government, the mayor will be smart enough to know that they're not that smart, that they shouldn't surround themselves with strong, competent people to help run the government. One of the things that I intend to adopt as mayor is a program called City Stats. And it's another form or way of ensuring the level of accountability that one needs to make certain that managers are doing their jobs appropriately within the government. The governor supports it and has state stats. DC has DC stats, and Baltimore has city stats. And so it is a proven record of a database system that provides for a level of accountability wherein managers and management teams are responsible for putting data in terms of the functioning level of their particular department. And so I look at it like this. At the end of the day, the city does need management. The city does need a person who can be an executive, who can be a professional, who can lead this city, who can access capital in Washington, D.C., and can walk in the White House just as much as they can walk in the State House. And so you just need a strong mayor, is my opinion about that.
Let me take the salary issue first. And let me just say that if I was any sort of sane 36-year-old, I would be doing everything I could right now to try and provide for a strong financial position for my family in the future, instead of asking my family to have their household income go down significantly just so I can pursue this passion to serve as mayor. So I'm going to earn every dollar that the mayor makes if I'm fortunate enough to be elected mayor, even though it is going to be a significant reduction in my family's household income. So I don't apologize for that. Let me now take the issue of the council manager form of government. And I realize that I am on the politically unpopular side of that issue because there is such a groundswell for change, and there are high-profile fiascos such as the Market House and others that are making people scratch their heads saying, what's going on here? But I'm running for mayor because I want the tools to make a change, and I want you all to hold me accountable after 4 years. I want to increase transparency by competitively bidding all major contracts, even those that are issued by the mayor's office. As mayor, I'm going to put all contracts on the city website so that taxpayers know who's receiving the money and what the relationship is, if any, with any city officials or employees. I'm going to appoint a city administrator who has the highest professional credential for local government management, give him or her the latitude to do their job without political interference, and then hold him or her accountable for doing a good job, and the voters in turn will hold me accountable, which is as it should be. Thank you. There you go.
Let me say, first of all, that at the end of the day, there's no question that we need a strong individual who runs day-to-day operations of this city. This is a city that it's not flexible. This is a city that is not one that sleeps. This is a city that is always something's going on. And so, in essence, the mayor cannot be in two places at one time. And so, as your mayor, I would hire an individual who would be a professional, who will have sought out from other areas. That individual being a city manager, having the qualifications in order to run the city from the day-to-day operations. So that would free me up as a mayor in order to go out and create and cultivate relationships. Relationships in order that we can open up doors, starting with our county government, going to our state government, all the way up to the federal government. This will give us an opportunity, not only in that standpoint, to create those relationships, but work to create the relationships that are necessary in our city to make it a strong city. One that we can call One Annapolis, one in which everyone is geared and focused on moving in the right direction, one in which we can truly be proud of. In regards to salary, I've worked for less. $70,000, it doesn't mean anything. I'm going to make it on that regardless. Because it's not about the money, folks. It's about serving. It's about being there for being the person that is in that seat, that's being responsible, and that's hearing the words and understanding what's being said out there in the streets. Not someone that is involved in all aspects of everything. Thank you.